Let's talk turnover. So I talk about stuff on my channel all the time, and hopefully I talk about things that you just don't read on some other blog, right? I'm trying to actually bring some value here that's not something else you're gonna read, like, yay, entrepreneurship's awesome. Go fucking read that somewhere else. What I'm here to talk to you about today, quite simply, is turnover. I remember I wore our low turnover as this massive badge of honor. And it was interesting that recently I was talking to another entrepreneur, and they were doing the same thing that I did. And I was sitting across in Boston at a cafe with Ann Holland. Shout out Ann. And Ann was one of my early advisors, and she said, hey kid, I don't think you should be bragging about how low your turnover is all the time. And it kind of punched me in the face, because I was like, what do you mean? Like, everything that we're reading tells us that low turnover, like, high turnover, bad, low turnover. And she's like, sometimes, Will, I watch companies get caught in ruts where people just kind of stick it out because they like the company or whatever, but they're not truly pushing the company forward and innovating, which ultimately leads to groupthink, which means, yes, you're not seeing people leave, but you're also not getting those new folks that come in with new perspectives that can change the way you think and help you tackle new opportunities. It's the feedback loop. It's a vortex of people saying the same thing to each other over and over again. And that's how sometimes you may get out innovated in your marketplace. So sometimes a little bit of turnover, good thing. Thank you so much, Ann, for that feedback. The other person that really changed my mind on this was Patty McCord. Link in the bottom to an interview that I did with Patty. I cannot believe she flew to Philly to sit with me and share her knowledge. But Patty was the head of HR at Netflix. She is just the shit. But one of the things that Patty said one day when I reached out to her, I was talking to her, she talked about what it felt like to lay off like 70% of a company. Because when the vision from Reed Hastings changed from delivery of DVDs to streaming, those two skill sets were so different that you can't expect somebody who spent 20 years working in logistics on how to ship things to suddenly know how to do video compression on the internet. They were completely different skills. And as a result, because the vision changed, Patty had to go through a process of laying off 75% of her staff on one side to hire a bunch of different skill sets on the other. From the outside, you'd look at that and go, oh my God, look at their turnover numbers. Oh my God, look how high they are. And it's like, well, that's what they had to do, or otherwise we'd still be going a freaking Blockbuster. Last one is somebody who I don't have as an advisor and I don't have on speed dial, Jeff Bezos. So when I worked in the Amazon warehouse when I was in college, we were doing books and DVDs and CDs, right? And one of the things that happened is Jeff started seeing, like I call him Jeff, like as if he's just a friend. Jeff started seeing the future of music not as shipping these DVDs, but instead of it being streaming, MP3s, digital formats. And when he brought that to his company, their feedback was like, oh, but if we get really good at the streaming business, then what's going to happen to all our friends in the warehouses and all of our friends who work on the CD and DVD shipping side of the business? What's going to happen there? And Jeff reminded his team that they were not thinking customer first, they were thinking company first. Their customers were moving in this direction, and instead of them going in that direction, some people's knee-jerk reaction was to be like, but what does this do to the company? It's like, no, especially at Amazon, stay customer focused. And then Jeff said something else that's really smart, to me at least, and he said, look, if we succeed, then yes, those people are going to lose their jobs. But we can hire them back because we succeed and have a new business that's growing and needs people. We can run training programs to be ready for the new direction where digital music is going. He goes, but if we spend one more minute digging in on what's going to happen to the company or our friends in this division, then someone else will do streaming music and digital music better than us. And then the MP3 team gets laid off and the shipping team gets laid off. And sure enough, we have Spotify these days. Spotify beat Amazon to the punch on streaming, and Amazon's not really a leader there. I think it's interesting when you think of turnover to think through the three things that I've learned from Ann, Patty, and Jeff, which is put the customer first, sometimes the vision changes and skills don't transfer, and avoid groupthink. Sometimes that low turnover number is nothing more than a bunch of people just being comfortable while the world around them is on flames. All right? Take care. Leave your comments. Love you all. See you soon.